didn't need to catch him with drugs. They just needed fingerprints, chat logs, and one cracked routine. What started as a nightclub arrest ended as the shutdown of a European pipeline. The bass doesn't stop. Neither do the lights. But something shifts in the air, just enough for the bartender to glance up. 4 plainclothes officers slide past the velvet. Their pace, unhurried. Their eyes, locked. VIP section, Pacha, Ibiza. August 2023. Bottle girls still pour, Berliners still cheer. But at the back of the booth, one man's drink is half finished, and his hands are already at his sides. No struggle, no raised voice. Just 2 words spoken low. That's him. He gives a name, the one on his passport. Nothing pings until they run the prints. Not off his hands, off his glass. One partial. Enough. The match hits faster than expected. British national, alias in use. Real name, Eddie Burton, 23. No record, no flash, no trail. Until now. He's arrested, quietly, like they've rehearsed it. The crowd keeps dancing. The DJ drops another track. But behind the strobes, a global operation just lost its center of gravity. This is where it ends, but not where it began.
Before the club, before the court numbers, there was a school uniform with sleeves a touch too long and trainers a size too big. Liverpool. A city that teaches you to read rooms fast and keep your mouth shut even faster. He's 10. He's a face no one clocks. That's the point. A short walk becomes a lesson. Don't talk, don't deviate, deliver. Older boys use him like camouflage, soft edges that slide past suspicion. He learns the grid, which streets you take if you're watched, which doors you never ask about. How to be present without being memorable. By 13, he's timing lights, listening for sirens that don't exist, learning the rhythm of surveillance before he's ever in a file. He's not chasing fame. He's learning a system. By 16, the school bag courier is gone. In his place, a kid who delegates. He doesn't fight to be feared. He fights to be invisible.
At 19, he leaves. No big announcement, no missing person panic. Just a flight, a short-term lease, and a different name on a mailbox in Amsterdam. He lives small. He changes numbers often. He studies ferry schedules and freight patterns like exam notes. Not a gangster, a logistics student. Amsterdam gives him proximity. Spain gives him cover. A second base, sun-bleached and anonymous. When you spread the map, distance isn't a gap, it's insulation. Back home in Liverpool, a different face keeps the machine turning. Sian Banks. She doesn't look like a coordinator. She looks like a feed. Beaches in June, hotel lobbies, sunsets from balconies. But behind the highlights is a calendar that doesn't lie. Monthly hops to Amsterdam or Spain. Short stays, solo flights. Her role isn't glamour, it's glue. Cash has to move. Couriers have to be briefed. Routes have to be checked, tweaked, covered. August 2022. 2 trips, 2 returns. Cocaine and ketamine in luggage. No flags, no record, just another traveler. Dover's seizure hits. She texts, "My prints might be on the bags." Clipped reply, arrogant tone, "You've never been nicked. No prints on file. Don't worry." On paper, she's support. In practice, indispensable.
3rd of July, 2022, Dover. An HGV enters a search lane. Paperwork's clean. Driver stays calm. Border Force opens it. Looks standard. Boxes, Lidl bag, cartons. Inside, 90 kilos ketamine, 50 kilos cocaine. A single seizure doesn't end a network, but it marks one. It's not just weight, it's process. The drugs were wrapped tight in layered plastic and duct tape, double vacuum sealed to minimize scent, hidden behind bulk cargo boxes in plain sight. But the wrapping was slightly off. A tape line didn't match. That was all it took. One anomaly, one gut check. Border Force pulled it, scanned it, sliced it. Street value of that load, at least £5 million. That's thousands of street deals, dozens of low-level dealers, weeks of territorial tension. In cities like Liverpool, Birmingham, Manchester, that single shipment ripples down fast. Turf fights, mounting debts, users forced to switch suppliers. Violence usually follows. A red flag, planted in time.
August 12th, different lorry, different driver, new method. This isn't boxes. This is engineering. Modified fuel tank, reinforced, sealed. Looked legitimate, smelled clean. But the weight was wrong by 12 kilos, and the weld, just a hair uneven. Inside, 142 kilos cocaine, 25 kilos heroin, a double wall build, metal shell filled with expanding foam to prevent slosh detection. Welded tight, painted over. Required a team with tools just to breach. Built in Spain, loaded in the Netherlands. Destined for a cold storage unit outside Kent. Heroin at that purity sells fast. One brick becomes 5. The cocaine, compressed to 80% purity. Most of it would have hit party circuits and street-level runners. Value, £15 million. Estimated downstream impact, over 100,000 individual deals, but the seal cracked. Forensics again. Not just residue, but hair fibers, glove smudges. Fingerprints on outer wrap and inside tray. Burton's lab. They never drove, but their hands were in it. That's not coincidence. That's coordination. The man behind the second wheel. Maris Friedvalds, 64, Latvian. 14 years, no parole. Why older drivers? Because legitimacy wears wrinkles. Experience masks intent. But legitimacy doesn't beat forensics. And tanks don't talk. Encryption felt like armor. Signal, WhatsApp, burner numbers, phones with no photos, contacts with no names. Messages say the run, the thing, prices in shorthand. Emoji code, snowflakes for coke, pills for MDMA. But encryption isn't safety. Context is. You match those chats to flights, hotel bookings, prep windows. A map begins to form. One that doesn't lie. By late 2022, they weren't guessing. By mid-2023, they were closing. During lockdown, when borders froze and flights disappeared, Sian Banks didn't go quiet. She pivoted. Forged COVID documents, fake PCR tests, digital vax cards, made-up exemptions. Sold cheap, distributed wide. Backpackers used them. So did traffickers. She was ahead of the curve. But it wasn't just side income. It was cover. When you fly with a fake test, your real movement looks legit. You're not smuggling, you're essential. On 3 flagged trips between 2021 and 2022, she used doctored travel passes. And each time, seizures followed days later. You don't need proof the product flew, just proof that she did. Mobility is advantage. Paperwork is camouflage. August 2023, Ibiza. Intelligence flags a movement. Spanish authorities run surveillance, and then confirmation. Pacha. Not hidden, not disguised, just present. Like a man who believes geography equals immunity. It doesn't. 4 officers, 1 target. No chase, no drama.
Inside the club, Burton has no exit route, no disguise, no alias strong enough to beat a print lifted from glass. The problem with distance is time, and time is what investigators use to build airtight cases. He's held in Spain, then Germany, then, March 2024, flown to the UK. Extradition is patience on paper. Signatures, warrants, borders aligned. But when he touches British soil, the wrong jurisdiction excuse dies. Now he's in the room where the evidence lives. December 2023. No sirens, no battering rams. They don't need drama. They bring phones. Inside Banks's device, encrypted logs, trip dates, drop notes, voice notes with weights, codes, contact handoffs. The same phone that smiled for selfies now holds a ledger in emoji. Canterbury Crown Court. Real people, real suits. Abstracts turn solid. The NCA walks in with no theatrics, just evidence. Fingerprints, timelines, luggage tags, hotel timestamps, shipment receipts, signal logs. The story tells itself. 2 interceptions, 307 kilos of Class A and B, cocaine, heroin, ketamine. Timeline consistent, surveillance matched, prints aligned. Burton, coordinator. Banks, courier support. Friedwald's, transport. The NCA held a press briefing after day 4 of trial. Called Burton a regional logistics architect with global delusions. Said Banks was critical connective tissue who knew what she was in. Tabloids dubbed him Ibiza Kingpin. Radio callers debated whether Banks was groomed or greedy. The jury took less than 3 hours. Verdicts don't land with drama. They land with math. No final words, no appeals. Eddie Burton, 19 years. Sian Banks, 5 years. Maris Friedwald's, 14 years. Families of overdose victims in Liverpool called it a crack in the pipeline. One mother told ITV they didn't care who used, who died. They just shipped weight. The NCA praised the case as a model of digital forensics. Sky News led with, "1 courier down, but many more to go." Sentences don't fix what's broken, but they slow it down. Headlines love numbers, but £20 million isn't just currency. It's hundreds of street-level runners, thousands of deals, debts unpaid, fights triggered, families torn. 1 load funds 10 more. 1 driver enables a dozen. 1 courier can make or break a borough. This wasn't a bust. It was a pause. He didn't run in the VIP, didn't beg in court. He believed systems would protect him. Anonymous chats, sleeper flights, no paper trails. But systems leave trails. And trails, that's what investigators eat for breakfast. From a schoolboy runner to a DJ booth arrest. It's two words reversed: controlled chaos. So here's the question. Was Banks manipulated by a man with a blueprint, or was she building right alongside him? Drop your take in the comments. This is Global Madness.